Welcome to Inner Power Training. This is Rebecca. I just want to share with you some insights that I've had in my life about metaphysics, spirituality, the higher realms of thought where you can actually correct problems, get some guidance, tap into your higher self. Have you figured out what your mission is yet? You know what? I came here for a purpose. I figured that out a long time ago. It was kind of like slowly revealed to me. But I remember when I first started my flying career at age 20, I was all of a sudden thrown into a very sophisticated environment where I had to deal with all kinds of people because that's what you do when you're a crew member in working in the cabin. I met all kinds of Americans back in the 60s, from celebrities to the common man and everything in between, because that's who was flying. And the left loads were very, very light. So we spent a lot of time talking, having conversations. I had a lot of deep conversations back in the 60s. As soon as I started flying, I've told you before, I discovered the shadow government, that there was a shadow government, and that we were in many ways being controlled. We were always paranoid about the CIA infiltrating the crew members. And, we were on guard that maybe we had someone planted amongst us that was taking notes. We were very aware of that. We were also very aware of the UFO cover up because, I've told you before, I saw three UFOs up close. And that was what motivated me to really start my flying career so I could find out where they were coming from. And guess what? Nobody could talk about it. We did talk about it, of course, but the word was don't even think about reporting anything unusual. You could get fired. That was the mandate that was coming down from all the airlines, and that came from the government. They did not want to hear about it. They wanted everything that showed up that was unusual to be explained away as swamp gas or, a balloon or something that was not unusual. But believe me, I saw three one night up close, saucers with domes on top. Could have been made by us. I don't know. But they were definitely something like I had never, ever, ever heard about in the news or the media. They weren't talking about it. And I have no idea where they came from, but there they were hovering over my head. So I've always had an open mind. I have a very open mind. I know that you can heal yourself. I was up at the Christian Science Church the other day visiting the library and watching some videos about Mary Baker Eddy and what she discovered back in the 1800s. She wrote a book that came out in 1875 called Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. And in that book, she discloses how Jesus healed. Yes, you can heal yourself. Jesus taught his disciples, he taught the world, he started a movement, and she rediscovered that lost element of healing back in the 1800s when she was searching for a healing for herself. And she got it. She figured it out. She went on to live to be, I think she was 89 when she passed, founded the Christian Science Monitor newspaper shortly before her passing, which is still up there. It's won many Pulitzer Prizes, world renowned newspaper. I mean, her legacy was tremendous. And, by your fruits, you shall know them. She left some amazing fruit in her path after she left the planet. But I'm on a mission to help people wake up because when I had my own spiritual awakening in my 20s, I was like blown away. Eckhart Tolle talks about it happening to him. All he could do was go sit on a park bench for quite a while because you really cannot relate to people in the three-dimensional world after you wake up for a while. You have to kind of be separate and contemplate what's happened because you open up your consciousness to the universe. And it's so expansive that it shocks you in a way, but not in a bad way, in a good way. everything that happens to you along the spiritual path, I believe, happens at the right time, in the right way, for the right person. We're all different. We're all going to journey and experience in our own personal ways. I came into this experience wanting to know how spiritual healing worked. I wanted to figure it out. I set myself up with what a doctor said was an incurable condition, and I needed surgery, and that was a no-no for me. I was not at all going to go that route in my 20s. So I took the leap of faith and I had a spiritual healing. Now, I've learned what you put your attention on is exactly what you're going to manifest. I had a terrible fear of that condition. That's how I manifested it. You can put your attention on what you desire, and you will manifest it if you truly feel like you've already gotten it and you believe and you have an open mind. Better to start the process when you're young, but I know we can start it at any age. But I'm glad I was taught the art of creative visualization when I was 21 because I hadn't clogged up my consciousness too much at that point. And I was a 60s stewardess, which was kind of a very empowering place to be because it was so much fun and we had so much freedom and we were doing things that the average person could only imagine. So I was in a situation where I could believe and manifest pretty effortlessly, and I did. So I've been studying this ever since. I love teaching people. That's why I wrote these two books, The Secrets of Manifesting and The Secrets of Manifesting Mastery. They're both on Amazon. Go to my website, rebeccatripp.com. And I really tell you with my personal stories exactly how I was able to manifest and overcome my fear of my body. Perfect health is your birthright. I was also able to just do whatever I felt like doing in this life that was positive and aligned with my mission, which is basically checking things out. I had to check out a lot of things. I've moved over 35 times in my life. I've lived all the way from Hawaii to New York City and, in between California, Boston, Chicago, you name it. But I believe in having as much experience as you can while you're here in this life. It's a fascinating game of life that we're playing and learning the secrets of consciousness and how you can operate in this dimension and have inner peace is, for me, one of the most rewarding things you can discover. I see people that are not at peace. They haven't had a spiritual awakening. I believe we all come here to have that experience, and we have different experiences set up in our lives. It could be, these people in California are being tested like we can't even imagine, losing everything in those fires. You never know. There could be an earthquake. There could be anything can happen. But if you're ready for it with inner peace, you can either walk away, you can recreate, you can reinvent, you can do whatever you need to do in order to rise above it. It's not easy. It's never easy. But you know what? The reason it's not easy is because it's so simple. Everything lies within. Inner power is very, very real. And we barely scratch the surface when it comes to the amazing things that we can do with our inner power. Once you align yourself with your higher self, your Christ consciousness, which Mary Baker Eddy did. Now, she had a lot of problems in her life. She was married 3 times, widowed twice, divorced once. She was estranged from her son because she was too ill to take care of him. She went through poverty. Then she became very, very wealthy when she founded the Christian Science Church. She had it all. But it was her trust in God that got her through everything that she went through and allowed her to be the kind of leader that she was, sharing this message that God is love and you are divine. And once you get it, you have spiritual power. You just need to desire it, take the leap of faith, trust that there is a God and do the work on yourself, and you will be blissfully happy. Believe me. The other side of the coin is not so good. Turn your thought away from all that negative stuff and focus on the good things and what you do want. Go to my website, rebeccatripp.com, and you'll see what I'm up to.